What is up, guys? Welcome back to yet another brand new Major Ben Gaming video. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day as always. Today we're going to be talking about the battle of the handhelds from Xbox and also PlayStation in the future, and that comes with some recent news / rumors and leaks and things like that on the next generation of PlayStation consoles, because yes, PS5 Pro is out and is coming out, and of course we have to straight away dive into what's coming in the future. Now, there is a rumor that the PlayStation 6 could span between a home console like we have now and also a handheld system, because obviously we're kind of now in that era where the handheld systems are actually incredibly powerful when running at like lower resolutions like 720p or 1080p, because you know they just can do that. They are able to achieve this. So we're gonna have a little talk about this. Let's zoom in a little bit here so we can talk about it. So it seems like we're slowly reaching that point in the generation where PlayStation 6 speculation starts to pick up the pace. Earlier this week, a report from Reuters revealed Sony had explored a potential relationship with Intel to manufacture the chip for its next generation console, but ultimately opted for AMD once again, with backwards compatibility being massively important to the manufacturer. Now, well-regarded tech leaker Kepler L2 has taken to the NeoGAF forums to report that two SoCs, so system on chips, are allegedly in development for PlayStation's next console. In a post, the Snoopster said, "I don't know if it's an Xbox Series XS situation or a home console and a handheld. It's speculated that Microsoft is also planning console and handheld options for its future hardware," which is absolutely something we've talked about on this channel before, where Microsoft are very likely doing a handheld. It's something that's kind of basically already been talked about open-ended from both Sarah Bond and Phil Spencer, and it's only a matter of time until we actually hear more, whether it's just going to be this generation, so like the Series S will just become a handheld sort of thing. That would be very cool if it had that level of power. We've been unable to verify the claim here, so they remain very much a rumor. It's also worth noting that while two chips may be being explored at the moment, there's no guarantee they'll both become commercial products by the time the PS6 launches in or around 2027 or 2028. Still, there's been a boom in handheld interest of late, with the Steam Deck driving enormous interest in enthusiast circles. While the console's overall sales numbers aren't particularly impressive in isolation, the ability to take your entire Steam library on the go has proven popular. Sony has also found success with its Remote Play Portable PS Portal this year. We suppose the idea here would be to release two pieces of hardware, a stationary console and a handheld, both of which would share the same library and run the same games at different specifications. Exactly how much these hypothetical devices would cost and what kind of challenges they'd create for developers remains to be seen. Now, this is something that I've been very like, this is not happening in the past. I've said that this is not going to happen because for a while we've been in this position where hardware has just not been as good, right? We're not in a time where you could release a PSP and it would succeed, because the PSP would need different games. But when we're in this realm of like, we could actually make a handheld as powerful as like what a base like console could be, when we get to that stage, which I don't think we're at right now, but we're talking next gen, so like 2027, 2028, could we have SoCs that could run what the base PS6 will run when coming out, or slightly less than what the base PS6 could do because it's a lower resolution, bit like what Microsoft's done with the Series S and Series X. But what we have to be very careful on, learning from Xbox Series X and S, is that there's been a lot of developers complaining about the Series S with the lack of RAM and just how it's an overall weaker system, and they're having to optimize for those two platforms, and then actually the Series X is missing out on some big titles because of just how much it takes to optimize for the Series S and how much weaker that system is. We want to make sure that we do not miss out on games coming to the platform. So that's what Sony, if they are going this kind of dual system route, they need to be very, very careful about the consequences of doing that and learn from what Microsoft has done. Is it something that's actually viable? And the same with Microsoft. If they are releasing this like portable system like within this current generation, they need to be very careful, because if it's not the same power as the Series S, then that means there's going to be a third SKU of hardware, which is going to make developers even more mad at them. So I don't know. And then the same with if they're not doing it in this generation, they're doing it in like 2026 with the next generation of Xbox. They've got to be incredibly careful, because they're already saying that the next generation is the biggest technical leap they've ever done in Xbox. So it sounds like they're going to have a very expensive, powerful, high-end home console. If it's not a scalable game in a realistic way down to this like portable system, they're gonna have another Series S and X problem, and that's a big concern, because missing out on games this generation and bringing games to other platforms where you've now got a PlayStation ecosystem where you can play like Indiana Jones and potentially Starfield. You've got the new Doom coming, so you can play all those Xbox titles, and they have like locked down titles like Stellar Blade, and they have games like Black Myth Wukong that they're just not doing on Xbox right now because the development time or whatever reason it's kind of concerning for Xbox, but that's kind of a whole different topic. My main thing here is, if they do it 2 SKUs, they've just got to be careful, and they've got to learn from what they've done. I think one of the reasons the PS5 outperforms Series X in some cases is just because they got 1 SKU, right? They just got a PS5. They're about to add a new SKU, but it's higher than what their highest model is, and we're in a position where you've got PS5 base PS5 performing equally to Series X and sometimes higher, and then the Series X sometimes higher. It's very evened out. Now you've got PS5 Pro that's going to be better. So I don't know. I feel like they need to be very careful with this. If this is this, as it says in the article, it could just be they're exploring 2 different SoCs for 2 home consoles right now. You've got maybe one that's like really, really high end and really, really low end, and they may just go with one of them, and they may just be like, right, we're going to do the best one that we can fit for the best budget, because that's what they do when they make a console. They have this budget that they got to hit, and they try and get the best components in there for that budget. That's how making a console works. So they're probably exploring many different options. This does not mean we're definitely getting 2 devices, but obviously speculation runs wild. It could be that we get a handheld. It could be that maybe they do the Xbox approach and they have 2 home consoles, 2 different SKUs, because they know that this budget is going up. Like, people are complaining about PlayStation 5 Pro prices. Maybe they want to just go straight with the Pro model and have a base model. I don't know. I never thought that was a good decision from Microsoft, in my opinion, because they say the Series X is like their Pro model, and it's like, well, if you'd waited and had a then Pro model, you would have probably saved money, because you would have got parts cheaper at the Series X price, and they could. I don't really know, to be honest, but I think it didn't work out for Microsoft, put it that way. The Series S is holding back the Series X and getting games on the Series X. And I think with all this handheld stuff, we're not there yet, but maybe by like 2027, 2028, when we're talking about this kind of new console generation, maybe we are actually going to be there, where we could have the same games running on the base PS6 that comes out, and then the handheld PS6. Like, that could be something that's really, really, really cool. But that's it from me. Let me know what you guys think. What do you think this is going to be? Is this likely to be 2 systems? Do you think it's going to be they're just testing like which SKU they think they'll go with? Or what do you guys think this is? Obviously, it's very early days. We're now in that time where we're going to start getting more and more PS6 rumors over the next 3 to 4 years. So it's kind of exciting that we've moved away from PS5 and we're really talking next gen from now all the way up till like 2028 when this thing actually launches. So that's pretty interesting. But anyway, leave a like, subscribe, let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll see you in future videos. Bye bye for now.